Welcome to Medicose. We often hear about the heart, a powerful muscle pumping blood throughout our body. We learn about skeletal muscles, allowing us to move and interact with the world. But have you ever stopped to consider the muscles working tirelessly behind the scenes? This is the world of smooth muscle. These muscles work automatically, ensuring the smooth functioning of our internal systems. Smooth muscle, though often unnoticed, is crucial for life. Smooth muscle, unlike skeletal muscle, has a distinct appearance under the microscope. Smooth muscle cells are spindle-shaped, thick in the middle, and taper at both ends. This shape allows them to pack tightly, forming sheets in organ walls. Unlike skeletal muscle, smooth muscle lacks organized sarcomeres. Its contractile proteins are arranged randomly, giving it a smooth appearance. Smooth muscles control slow, sustained movements in our organs. While all smooth muscles share some common characteristics, they are not all created equal. Smooth muscles can be classified into three main types: multi-unit, unitary, and vascular. Each type has unique properties for its specific role. Multi-unit smooth muscle cells act independently. Unitary smooth muscle functions as a single unit. Vascular smooth muscle regulates blood pressure and flow. Understanding these differences is crucial for comprehending their roles in our organs and systems. Imagine a team of skilled workers, each capable of performing their task independently. This is the essence of multi-unit smooth muscle. Each muscle cell receives its own nerve supply and operates independently. This allows for fine control and graded contractions, found in areas requiring precise, localized contractions. A prime example is the muscle controlling the size of our pupils. These muscles contract, constricting the pupil in bright light. In dim light, they relax, dilating the pupil. They also help us focus on objects at different distances by adjusting the lens shape for a clear image, highlighting the importance of multi-unit smooth muscle in fine motor control. Section 5. Unitary smooth muscle. Working in harmony. Unitary smooth muscle functions as a cohesive team. Cells are interconnected by gap junctions for rapid communication. This results in wave-like contractions across the muscle sheet. Coordinated contractions, known as peristalsis, propel substances. Section 6. Vascular smooth muscle. The blood vessel specialist. Blood vessels rely on vascular smooth muscle to regulate blood pressure and flow. This muscle ensures oxygen and nutrients reach every cell. It maintains vascular tone, essential for blood pressure. Too much contraction leads to high blood pressure. Too little causes low blood pressure. Section 7. The dance of contraction, excitation, contraction, coupling. The process of muscle contraction, whether in skeletal muscle or smooth muscle, is a fascinating dance of molecular interactions. This process, known as excitation-contraction coupling, describes the sequence of events that convert an electrical signal from a nerve into a mechanical response, resulting in muscle contraction. In smooth muscle, this process is unique and involves a complex interplay of calcium ions, regulatory proteins, and contractile proteins. Unlike skeletal muscle, which relies heavily on calcium stored within the muscle cell itself, smooth muscle relies on both intracellular and extracellular calcium sources for contraction. This reliance on external calcium sources makes smooth muscle contraction slower and more sustained compared to the rapid, short-lived contractions of skeletal muscle. This difference in contraction dynamics reflects the specialized roles of these muscle types in the body. Section 8. Calcium. The key to unlocking contraction. Calcium ions are the key to unlocking the contraction process in smooth muscle. When a smooth muscle cell receives a signal to contract, whether from a nerve, hormone, or other stimuli, calcium channels in the cell membrane open, allowing calcium ions to flood into the cell from the extracellular space. This influx of calcium is crucial because it triggers a cascade of events that ultimately lead to the activation of the contractile machinery within the smooth muscle cell. Without sufficient calcium, the contraction process would grind to a halt. Interestingly, smooth muscle cells also store calcium within specialized compartments called sarcoplasmic reticulum. When stimulated, this internal store of calcium can be released into the cell, further amplifying the contraction signal. This intricate interplay of external and internal calcium sources allows for fine-tuning of smooth muscle contraction. Section 9. Hormones and neurotransmitters, messengers of action. Smooth muscle is influenced by hormones and neurotransmitters. These messengers signal smooth muscle to contract or relax. Adrenaline relaxes airway muscles, easing breathing. Asthma medications mimic adrenaline's effects. Acetylcholine causes airway muscles to contract. These factors help maintain homeostasis. Section 10. Calmodulin, the calcium connection. Once calcium ions flood into the smooth muscle cell, their mission is to activate the contractile machinery, but they don't do it alone. Instead, calcium ions bind to a special protein called calmodulin, forming a calcium-calmodulin complex. This complex acts as a switch, turning on the next step in the contraction process. Calmodulin is like a calcium sensor, waiting for the signal to spring into action. Once bound to calcium, it undergoes a change in shape, allowing it to interact with other proteins involved in muscle contraction. This interaction sets off a chain reaction, ultimately leading to the shortening of the smooth muscle cell. The discovery of calmodulin and its role in smooth muscle contraction was a major breakthrough in our understanding of how these muscles work. It highlighted the importance of calcium signaling and the intricate interplay of proteins in regulating cellular processes. Section 11. Myosin light chain. Kinase, the engine starter. The calcium-calmodulin complex, once formed, doesn't directly interact with the contractile proteins. Instead, it activates another key player in the contraction process, an enzyme called myosin light chain kinase, or MLC. Think of MLCA as the engine starter for smooth muscle contraction. MLCK's target is a small protein chain attached to one of the contractile proteins, myosin. This protein chain, called the myosin light chain, acts like a brake, preventing myosin from interacting with actin, the other contractile protein. When MLCK is activated, it adds a phosphate group to the myosin light chain, effectively releasing the brake and allowing myosin to interact with actin. This interaction between myosin and actin is what drives muscle contraction. Myosin, once activated, pulls on actin filaments, causing the muscle cell to shorten and generate force. The more myosin molecules that are activated, the stronger the contraction. Subscribe to the channel for more in-depth physiology content.